Ki Kōrero Toi. This session is, has been established by Te Ātinga, the Contemporary Māori Arts Committee of Aotearoa. And we've got a really exciting episode today. Here I'd just like to introduce, we have Donn Ratana, who is a professor and an educationalist, but also a sculptor and amazing artist, who has been working for a number of years, I think when I was at teaching college as well, at Waikato University. Hailing from Tūhoe, Donn Ratana has an illustrious career in the arts, but has also fostered generations of artists as well through his practice and his work. And we're really privileged to have Donn here. And as an added bonus, we also have Viri Taimana and Tokai Devatine, and they are zooming in from Tahiti, from the art school in Tahiti. So a big welcome to you both and to your students. Nau mai kōrero, nau mai kia koutou ki tēnei o ngā wānanga. So this episode is being broadcast live, and we have a number of people who have joined in. So any participants can add any questions, and we'll have question time at the end of the session. But firstly, we'll just like to pass the rāk over to you, Donn, and if you can just have a bit of a kōrero about your work, and perhaps lead into, after a discussion about your own mahi, your relationship with the school in Tahiti. So tēnā koe, Donn.
Kia ora koe, Megan. Nā mihi nui ki a koe. Nā mihi nui ki a Orana Tahiti nui. Son te miti da. Orana. Wonderful place. Now, yeah, just talking about my mahi, well, I've always been keen on drawing. I mean, if you look at when I grew up, it was drawing, copying from comics and from things that were around, like hunting scenes, deer, pigs, but mostly from war comics. So we're quite good at drawing airplanes that are coming towards you and away from you. And I think the first drawing that I ever did was in the sand, because we didn't have a lot of paper, but back in the day we had a tennis court which we'd chipped out. So I guess it was called a clay court back in the days, but for us it was just a tennis court. And it was good for drawing. So stick was a wonderful tool, and spent a lot of time drawing in the clay. And also I guess the beginning of sculpture was making weapons, comics, war, guns, and bows and arrows. So you're into those sorts of sculptures, I guess. Well, might call them sculptures, but I used to think hinaki were awesome sculptures my koro used to make. And my kuia, when she was doing a lot of her whāriki and kete, they were sculptural pieces to me. I just loved the shape and the detail that went into them. So lots of those were part of me growing up, just had the visual awareness of everything that was around, which contributes to developing new ideas, I guess. And it is always handy to keep drawing. Well, for me, it was always handy to keep drawing, just trying to extend the skills. And I guess, like most people, you start off trying to be realistic, to make the form or the image look like what it really is, until you start developing a style that you think, hey, I'll try and go this way. and that takes a real long time. But now I'm really into, show you my t-shirt. Don't know if you can see that real. Okay, did you see that okay, Riggs? Right, so basically I'm into artwork that's already around, and it's just the way I manipulate it too. So it's assemblage, it's collage, it's painting, it's a mixture. But I love to play around with the ideas of the found and have more of a socio-political bent to it, the topic that's there. So that's my flavor. Right, and I just want to see how things work. I mean, it's easy to draw what you think might be there, but it's not until you hit the materials and then things start to change. So it's not trying to transfer the image from your visual art diary onto your canvas or onto your assemblage or sculpture. Yeah, unlimited development, really, unlimited. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Don. And that's what I really appreciate about your work, is you see the potential in everything around us and have opened so many people's eyes to that fact as well. Kia ora, Don. Maybe we can try and find some of your pieces online, do you think?
I think there's some on bits and pieces someone's posted on Google, but I can send you, it's a huge file. Like, I haven't got any little files there. But Google, I think someone's posted up some things there, and shall I send this to you and see what actually happens, where you might be able to?
Yeah, send it through to me. We'll go over to Tokai in Tahiti. And Don, did you just want to talk a little bit about your relationship with Viri, Tokai, and everybody at the wonderful School of Art in Tahiti? And what I really appreciate about this relationship that you have all developed is it's very grassroots. It's a very powerful movement and a strong example of what we can do as Indigenous people when we come together and connect and grow. So would you like to just talk a bit about the beginning stages and how things have developed?
Yeah, I think, well, I was on study leave, but I wanted to, because I was doing my own version of political and political art, and I wanted to see what other islands were doing. And so I decided I was going to go to Hawaii, but I thought I'd go through Tahiti. And I didn't really know anyone then. I knew that they spoke French, and I thought it was going to be a bit of a struggle. I had one name, they said, contact, and no one else had really been up there, and apart from the Waka Ama and the Waka groups, but not many visual artists. So I decided, oh, well, I'll head that way. And I rang my contact when I got there. And he just said, look, just go up the road from your hotel and you'll come to the school. Santa Mitida, I think, I'm not too, I can always get the pronunciation. Tokai, Sant. So I just say Sant, which is an art school. And they said, you'll find a guy called Viri Taimana there. And so I walk up there and I see these amazing, well, when I walked through the gate, there was some Māori design patterns on the windows and these amazing white sculptures. And I knew I picked out the the Hawaiian one, and then I saw a Māori one there, and I go, whoa, this is cool. So I went to the place that said the office, but I think the label was in French, but it was close to office anyway. And knocked on the door, and out came Tokai. And it was lucky for me that he could speak English, because, man, I was lost. And then Viri came out, and that's where it all started. I just hung around there for a week and just interrupted their classes, and we spoke and the whole thing. And after about a week, I shot up to Hawaii, spent some time up there, came back, and then it was all on from there. And Viri said, why don't you bring some students? And Viri and Tokai said, why don't you bring some students here? I said, yeah, well, that's cool. But Waikato doesn't really have art students. They have art teaching, a generalist type. But we managed to find some, and I thought, oh, while we're going over there, I'll contact Bob Yonke from Massey. And then I knew Miley at the time too, and I thought she'd like to come. So I contacted her, and she said, yeah, we're all keen. And so we all went there, and that was the beginning of our wonderful whanaungatanga, really, which we had the Pūtahi. And it began from there, and it was awesome. And we've been going there. We've spent quite a bit of time there. We've had them here. And the Rarotonga was the last one, which was really cool that Rarotonga came on board. And we were supposed to go 2020 or 19 to Hawaii, but then COVID hit. 19. So we're hoping that if it opens up, we either go to Hawaii, or I'm not too sure whether we will be here or whether we go back to Tahiti, but I want to try and get there before I start pushing a walker or wheelchair. But basically, and yes, and we've had those connections. We've gone on, we've been there and worked together and had exhibitions, and just the contacts, just amazing. Just whanaungatanga there, wonderful place. And while I was there, I managed to get up to Raiatea, which was another amazing place, just to be there, but just to be, in Tahiti, really, with these guys. The people make it special, right? That whānau there, of the SOMP, they make it special. And those students, we were doing a lot of this talking with the students because they couldn't understand us, but we picked up little bits and pieces, and with our reo and their reo was some close understandings. Great place. And it was good to see Viri and some of his people come over to Te Ātinga at Ngaruahia when we had some time there, and that was great. So still ongoing. Hopefully not hope, it'll just carry on. Ei tokai, Viri, kei te pai.
Kia ora, ngā mihi, Don. And some of us will be aware of some of the history of Tahiti. So similar to Māori who were colonised by the English, Tahiti was colonised by the French. Therefore, Tahiti's, one of their main languages is French, and Tokai is also fluent in English, so he'll be helping to translate as well. Viri speaks Tahitian, and he is, when he speaks in his native language, it's easier to understand actually than when he speaks English. Many of us here in Aotearoa don't speak French, so the language differences is quite interesting. But we do have historical connections to Tahiti, and many of us as Māori believe that we have come out from Tahiti. And then when we were over in Raiatea in Tahiti, there's a story of Te Wheke Nui and how we actually, how Tahiti people claim that we did originate there, and then the tentacles spread out and went out across the Pacific, which would really explain why our languages are so similar and we're able to communicate. So really having this connection with you, Viri, and Tokai, and the school, the SONT, is really, it's important to us in many ways. It's not just about the art, it's not just about the connection, but it's about the ancestral connections as well, and reinforcing those. And over the years, I've seen the SONT grow and grow in connection, but also in regards to the artwork. And now the work that you're producing is definitely world-class. So Viri, Tokai, welcome, and I'd just like to hand it over to you to Kōrero. Kia ora.
Viri will begin.
Yaran tatou, kia ora whanau, kia ora Regan, mihinui ki a koe, kia ora Donn, mihinui tū. O Viri tōku ingoa e rangatira no te nei Kōrero Toi o Tahiti nui, e kura no te hanga, no te whakairo, no te raranga, no te peini, e tana hanga tauira. Tauira te konei.
Kia ora nā koutou.
Kia ora nā.
E ua tāku mahi, e whakairo, e peini, peini hohoa, e te patahohoa, e roto i te kimi ki te hanga ohipa te tangata, ki roto i te orahanga, e nahea i horonga e hipahanga no te etau. Roto i te nei kura, e kimi te hanga moihaa, ia ki mai te mana oi roto i te hanga tauira, ia rawe ki te nei ohipa, te mahi whakairo, te mahi peini, te mahi patahohoa, kia tū te kite. Te vera te hanga parautuite. Parautuite, te hanga parautuite no te whaafatu. Te hanga tauira ia ki te rātou, ia o rātou te ohipa, te mahi. Roto i te tūtangi anga, e kimi te rāpea ia haere tō Tahiti nui ki Aotearoa, ia haere mai tō Aotearoa ki Tahiti nui, no te wharerei, no te mahi, no te rawe i te ohipa. Matara te kopani o te nei kura ki te hanga tauira o te hanga motu, hanga henua o Patiftifa. Wamutu.
Kia ora.
Ai, kia ora ana, Viri. Tino marama tō reo hoki, marama pai i tō kōrero i roti te reo. Nō reira, nei rā te mihi.
Runga tua ia tōkai. Nāna kōrero tu nā roto te reo English.
Era te ui e te reo nono English.
Bonjour, mon ami.
Bonjour. Comment vas-tu? Oui, oui. Nice to see you, Yorana Regan, Yorana Donn. It's a pleasure to see you since the COVID. We stay in connection on the social networks, but I'm really happy, and I really like to thank you, Regan, for the proposition of having a talk this afternoon with Donn and you. And I say also hello to all the friends who are connected in Tonga, in Tahiti, in France, and Aotearoa as well, and maybe from Hawaii and Fiji. I saw Irami. Hi, Irami. So we are here with some students in our exhibition room, who is also a space for workshops and display some exercises, some artworks, the practice of our students. So thank you, Donn, for presenting the first meeting we had. It was in 2010, in December, and no, it was in 2009 in December, and then we met again in January 2010.
Yeah, I was there when they had the
cyclone
hurricane or typhoon.
Yeah. It destroyed many houses in the Austral Island in Tupuai. And we have a lovely memories of this meeting when you came at the centre looking and you asked Viri, where are the Tahitian artists? And we were together. He just turned and asked you to look in the garden and the workshop, watching the students working, and he said, we are training them. They are coming, but they are already here. And then we never stopped. We never stopped since this day to build projects, connecting people from Oceania and Polynesian, Melanesian. There is no boundaries for us in the Pacific, and we did a lot of things, a lot of meetings since this time, and yes, we're really grateful for all the beautiful people we met, and we're still in connection with them since this time. For the people here, few of them knows the Centre des Métiers d'Art, but I'd like to make a quick presentation, maybe a 20-minute presentation of the school. So I prepared a PowerPoint, some slides, and I wish I had enough practice to show you the slide properly, because it was a bit hard a few moments earlier to show the slides. So I'm going to find my slides. Can you hear them?
Yeah, we can see them.
Okay. And I need to put them in a larger size. Is that true?
Yes.
And how is it now? Still not?
we can still see the smaller slides. We just really wanted.
Yeah, that one, I think.
Oh,
The one next to it,
starting again.
the yellow one. The third one across.
No,
Yep, that one down across.
it needs some practice.
Yeah, that one. The yellow. Yes,
Sorry.
the yellow one. Oh, next to that, next to it. The other side. Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yes,
still
but
not
you
doing
still
it.
see the slides.
Mm.
Yeah, that's the problem. How could
The third one. Did you try that one? Up the top,
which one?
up the top. Oh,
the
go
top?
right to the end. Keep going across. Yeah, that one. Will that work?
Okay.
Still no.
No.
We could probably just look at that one. That should be all right.
That one like this?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Mm.
Okay. So this is yeah, we do like this. Try another, maybe like this. Pas très bien, mais bon. Okay, we start. Okay, so it's a school, the Centre des Métiers d'Art. So we have 4 parts of this presentation. We have the place, geographically, the place of the school. Then we present the training, what we're doing here. And then a small history and the philosophy of the school, of the training. We put with Viri since the 2008, when we started to work together at the school. Then what's our goals and actions to reach our goals, and after, if we can, I'd like to show you some artworks from people trained at the Centre, who now are artists or teachers now, professors, to and maybe our friends who met the Centre a few years ago, maybe they will have a pleasure to see the development of what happened. Regan, you talk about movement, strong movement here in Tahiti. So yeah, I will show you some work. Okay, so the Centre des Métiers d'Art is located in Papeete, so in Tahiti, in the island of Tahiti. Tahiti is part of 118 islands on a surface of approximately 5 million kilometers square. And there is 5 archipelagos. We have the Society Islands, the inward and windward islands, where Tahiti is. We have also the Tuamotu Island, where Viri comes from. And we also have some up northeast, we have the Marquesian archipelagos, and in the south, the Austral archipelagos. And with the Tuamotu near, we have also the Gambier, the Manga River. We have we are located in the center, in downtown, in the center of Papeete, but in the nice garden. And our students comes from mostly from Tahiti and Moorea, but we have people who arrive from all the islands, from all the archipelagos, to be trained here in art. The students have about 20 or 24 years old, approximately. Some are younger, some are elder. So this is a picture, a map of the archipelago, of the French Polynesia territory. And you can see Tahiti here. So it's really big. About the training, we things moved in 2016. Before we have some certificate of art and craft, but it was a diploma. There were schools diploma without recognition outside. And then we apply. We ask for having a diploma who can be recognized by the authorities. We have two levels. We have a CPMA certificate for métier d'art and a brevet for the métier d'art. It's the equivalent of the baccalaureate, so it's and the secondary school. But they teach in the class. They learn the heritage of the archipelagos. They learn sculpture, to engrave, shell engraving, the painting, etc., etc. And that was a big deal at this time for us to have those new diploma, because it was a recognition that the Polynesian culture could be the main subject of our learning, because before it was only the French heritage that can be taught to people, to young people. So it was to put together at the same level the French culture and all our culture from here in Oceania and in our 5 archipelagos. That was not so as simple as it could be, but we managed that. And so many people, young people, more people came here because they have, some of them did a scholarship without putting the Polynesian meaning in what they are doing. So here it is more evident for them to do that. So we have some example of work of diploma made by some our past graduate students. They quit the centre for now, but it was last year for this one. It was the first level of métier d'art, what they done. And some exploration in costumes, traditional and modern costumes, with feathers, but still in mother of pearl shell. Some work on design, how to design some object from the everyday life, and taking in the heritage some forms that they can reuse in our days. So some of them are from some seats from the chiefs, some umete, some bowls, some roof whare, or different things. The history of the school, so it was designed in the 80s and opened in 82. So, French carver sculpture from who was trained in Paris in the École Boulle, came here, marry a woman, a Tahitian woman, and then start to think about what can we do for the people, for the young people especially here, because they have a real intelligence in their hand and the way they can work and design things in our way, in our Polynesian way. So he would like them to have a school where they can succeed and after that they can work in the society. Then the school is operating by the government. It's a public institution. It's a center of the contemporary creativity here in French Polynesia. Thanks to the relationships developed with you guys in Aotearoa or in Hawaii or in the US or France or some other places all around the Pacific, but also in the 5 archipelagos, because we have projects with other archipelagos where we travel and let things do. We're doing things with people in the archipelagos. We're not coming and making things by our own. Every time we would like to, we are working with people from the places. And that's really important for us, about the colonization. And so we avoid to repeat the same things. And the core mission are the theoretical and practical training of highlight qualified craftsperson in traditional and modern artistic disciplines, and the research and development of craftsmanship techniques. So that's our mission here at the Centre. Our philosophy is to stimulate contemporary youth interest in the heritage of the different archipelagos, as well in art. So there are two things. Half of the students who come to the Centre are interested in knowing more things about their own culture, and half of them are more interested in art. So we put those two publics together, and we have a very good interaction between those two publics and their goals. It does so by encouraging students to express their creativity, develop a sense of inner peace and fulfillment, and become fully integrated into the socio-economic network of society. CMA also underlying teaching philosophy is to regenerate all forms of Polynesian heritage by encouraging the evolution of traditional artistic practices towards a more dynamic contemporary language, using modern shapes, colors, and capitalization on the contribution of new technologies. So that's really important for us. We have a heritage, but the ancient left some traces of their life, and our goal now, what we have to do, it's for the younger generation after, it's to let some traces from our nowadays lives here, so they can have a feeling of continuity in the way they are Polynesian in today, but in the further time. So the way in which the CMA conceptualizes an increasing of the training level and the heritage revitalization shed light on the connection and solidarities between the archipelagos and the countries in the Pacific that the school is building since the 2010. So, and the Putahi, we have some words at the beginning of the talk with Donn. So one of the most beautiful expression of this idea, the connection, solidarity, and working, expressing ourselves, our feelings, our heritage, but in the way that we can make them evolve. So it's the Putahi. So our objectives, our target, our goals, so the recognition at the regional, national, and international stage of training, focus on the cultures from the Pacific. So we work for this for many years with Viri, and we really attach, really fond of this idea. But the second goal was also to train people able to express this sense of identity, of continuity. They can derive from understanding the cultural heritage today, but also tomorrow. So goals and action. So we are actually currently preparing the opening of new training at the bachelor level, degree level. So 3 years after the secondary school. So it's called DN-MADE. So it's a national diploma of craft and arts and design here. So that's the first time we have the possibility, we are able to propose to increase the level of the training here. So we have some recent work of our students. It's a work about the environment and how we have and we need to make people aware of the problem we can cause to our environment and our societies. So our action from our goal, those action was the Putahi. So we have here a map to explain what was made from now, since now. Well, no, so what was made currently. So it was a network from Hawaii until Aotearoa, and we have partnerships, friends, artists. We met in our Putahi gathering in New Caledonia, in Fiji, in Tonga, in Cook Islands, and also here. And we have so many places to go again, to the network we need, and we're going to increase in this wonderful gathering with the Putahi. We have our actions, art residency. We met, we invited painters from New Caledonia, from Tonga, so it was Micheline Leporon, Denis Tiavoine, Paula Boisgoni. We also met Francia Bois, or Tevita Latu, Taniela Petelo, Luana also. And after the Putahi was supposed to, before the COVID, so in 2019, it was our goal was to invite people from Aotearoa and then Hawaii painters to come and have some workshops here and exhibition with our students. So we have we try to make we do make many exhibitions, so 3 or 4 per year. Sometimes it's 7, 6. And then we also making publication books or article in some review, or hear about our exhibition with you guys, Putahi or exhibition in the museum. Here you have the cover of the meeting, the art residency we had with the Kanak painters. And we have also selling, so the object, the artifact made by the students in the workshops, we organize selling every 2 years, where people can come and buy some traditional object. Here lower price. So we can, those objects are not only for people who got money, but every people could buy a necklace, a bowl, something that linked it to his own tradition, his own heritage. And that's also important for the students because it gives a feeling of how to say, in fierté. That's okay. They are so happy to see that their work have been by someone and who wants, these people wants you to know their names and what's the wood. Could they make some more, etc., etc. We have also some chantier école, so it's a big project we have. So we articulate the project with the pedagogy here, and we have some example in the slide. We made the livret or the design for some plane here, the plane who are linked all the archipelagos together from Tahiti. So every archipelago has a plane, or nearly all the archipelagos, not all of them, but nearly has a plane with their designs on it. So people are really happy. We have here a big sculpture put in a French institution. So it's a way for us to put things where Polynesian people, when they go in the administration, French administration, for many reasons, they could have something that link them with the land, with their own culture. And also film, we made in Tahitian in 2016. We made a movie also. We have some exercises in a workshop in art, digital art workshop, some work about that. And then we have, that's the big deal. I try to show you the different work. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes. Is it big or not?
Well, it's clear. It's clear to me. Are you okay, Rex?
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah. That's since COVID.
Okay.
So this was online, Tokai.
Okay. And then, so I'd like to have a, okay. So, okay, this is some art made by, sorry, I need to go, made by one of our teacher now, who was a graduate students a few times ago. So it's Esram Turina, with his some carving, really square shape carving, looking who represent TE, but in a more modern way. So I have some, yeah, and he also have some paintings where this is also Esram work. He loves stone carving. This is a Flora. Actually, it's my mom, Flora Devatine, who's it was an exhibition in France in 2019 with a picture about glasses break. So it's some little pieces of nothing, and they make it's a reflection about that. Hayata Aka, so you know Hayata, work on shell engraving. She's also a teacher here. It's coconut. It's not shell, those works. It's on coconut shell. This is the work of now of Herinui. Here, engraving shell. Yeah. You know her. This is Hihiro's work. She's a carver, but she also made some flat work with small 3D spaces. So her more recent work, one of those more recent. This is Alexander Lee. So he asked me to say hello to you, Regan and Donn. It was an exhibition at the museum. His last exhibition, it was an art residency in France. He just finished it, I think, few weeks ago. It's porcelain and some work on atomic test, nuclear test in Tahiti. I think we showcased this work in Biennale in Hawaii, last Biennale. This is a new friend. You didn't met him yet, but you will. It's Norbert Van A. So he's a writer, and he loves to write on canvas.
He's been naughty, so he's writing lots of lines.
Yeah. It was an exhibition in France 2 years ago. It is Omaira. Omaira, he's making jewelry, but also painting. Orama, you met Orama.
Yes.
In 2000, yes. So she keep on studying in France, and she came back. I think she's connected. Hi, Orama. This is a work she made in France, and an exhibition, and also for her diploma, and an exhibition in Quai Branly in Paris about the Marura. Further work. In Fashion Week. This dress made with hairs. Rava, she's craftsman, so she made beautiful coffret, wine coffret. This is Tafe Tanui.
Tafe just had an exhibition recently.
Yeah, yes. This, one of the pictures is from his exhibition. He just sent me yesterday night.
Right.
Oh, this is someone. This is my work.
What's those? Are those aluminium?
Those, it's golden coconut shell.
Right.
Golden coconut. So it's the Tahitian golden bank.
Currency.
This is rice in coconut. This is a gilet jaune. You know, it was an art that I made for an exhibition in France, because they were just smashing people in, who were manifesting in the streets. So I made this one with some shell, It looks like the small shell, piece of shell on the Mona dress collected by Cook when he came in the end of the 18th. This is some work from a new catalog, Orama Studio, that we presented at the beginning of the year, and another things about fly whisk. So it's a way of showing what's a real fly whisk and what's the other. It's the to'o called fly whisk also by the museums. Oh, sorry. This is Vaihere's work. With new works on plastic and also boa from the fish.
Wow.
Also his really recent paintings. And the last one is Viri, some painting of Viri. That's 2 meters high paintings of Viri.
I still have his 2 meter high paintings.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some printing on meter. Yeah.
I think I've got this one, have I?
Yeah, maybe.
I've got one similar.
Okay, I'm done.
Thanks, Tokai. Ngā mihi nui. Awesome mahi.
Wow, that's amazing, Tokai. And you ran through those images so quickly. I was like, stop. But if anyone wants to view them, they can have a look at the video later, which is great because it's being recorded.
Yeah, okay. I can send you the pictures also.
That's wonderful, Tokai, to see the scope and the breadth, and a lot of issues that your artists are addressing in their work is very pertinent to what's happening here as well. Although being a group of islands, the ocean being all around you, that's a very immediate concern with the rising waters and the pollution, the atomic testing that happened at Mururoa. Yeah, so we send all our aroha out to you and our family, and do what we can over here as well to support the cause. Tēnā koutou. So I'm just see if there's any questions here. Don, did you have anything to add?
No, I just acknowledge our relations from New Caledonia, Kanaka, when we met them, as well as Fiji with Irani and Joseph. Yes, there was some great connections for us in just the diversity of ideas, really.
What I really love seeing is the development of the students as well as the tutors' works, and seeing kind of parts of the artists who have come to stay and shared their practice, and how you can see parts of developments that have kind of blossomed from those little engagements. That's really beautiful to see, but a really strong grounding in Tahiti and Tahiti Nui, and standing proud in your culture, and presenting, that beautiful context, but in different ways, and then pushing things further, like exploring those the spoons and those common objects, but really looking at it, what is that for us as Indigenous, or for for Tahiti, how can we push that further? So there's so many different ways that people can go. And I think it's really, well, I know it's really exciting, especially for me as an artist, because it spears off all these other creative thoughts too. So thank you for sharing that, Tokai. It's beautiful to see.
Thank you for the opportunity to let us presenting things that's not only the school, but the school have there's a community around the school by the students, but also after this, the training is still around, and it was a good opportunity for them and for all of us to present some of the works who are developed here from the very last month or maybe 2 years ago. Thank you again.
Wonderful, thank you. Donn, I think I found some images of your work online. I'm just wondering if you could just give a brief little kōrero, just so people can get a idea of some of the works that
you're asking me to communicate twice there, Kare.
Because you didn't send me any artworks, so I found
I sent one through, I don't know if it reached it, probably too much on there.
Oh, is that on Facebook?
No, I sent it to your email.
To my email. Okay, Donn.
Did I get to the right one? But it's probably too big. There's so much rubbish on there.
Is it a PowerPoint?
Just a folder of some mahi. But anyway, what have you got on there? I mean, I can talk to a couple of these other things because, you know, I think really all my sculptures in Tahiti have been eaten by the insects, ngangaras. They had a good go at them. They tried to last a little bit longer, but they had a good go at eating them.
Oh, no. Oh, well, I'll just show you the ones I have here in a folder.
Okay.
And I think they'll just provide just a bit of a scope anyway.
All right. Oh, I see. Yeah, this is a screen print. I'm just reading what Irami. Yeah, I remember the rooster. Yep, Irami. This is Tainui Kaupapa. Basically, it was a screen print. Hidden in Melbourne back in the day, in Wharehuia, they were having a conference and they wanted a koha to give to the speakers. So I thought I would come up with this little wee comic strip, really, as a screen print. So it just tells a little bit of the journey of Tainui throughout. I think I might have given them a bit more land than what they actually should have there. But anyway, that's that one there, trying to keep it fairly simple, but tell the story. Kia ora. You got another one there? Right. Yeah, this was from our hui. Was it last year or the year before, Rex?
It was probably 3 years ago now.
That one at Ngaruahi, right?
Mm.
Anyway, yeah, so I was looking at weapons of mass confiscation, and instead of muskets and cannons and whatever being in those ammunition boxes, it was just the pegs for lot pegs. They're actually surveyors put them out when they're dividing up the land. So you stick a peg in the ground and you put a number on it. So it was just all the different sizes. So that's what that's when so it became weapons of mass confiscation, really. All right. Now this one here goes back to one of my first big sculptures based on the hinaki. I was doing a hinaki series on how entrapment, how we get caught in unless someone lets us out. So I looked at the Coca-Cola bottle shape and how we all been sucked into Americana, really. And so the font I think this is when I really started my big plan on colonization 0, basically. So the hinaki, and I wanted it instead of to keep the actual bottle shape, was after sometimes when you've been playing or you've finished drinking out of that Coke plastic, you squash it. So this whole idea really is just about sucked into Americana, so colonization. That's about 3-4 meters long. It's hard to tell in there, and it's hard to read the font. I had to change the font slightly because otherwise they were going to charge me quite a bit for using their font for Coca-Cola. All right.
Yeah, you have to be quite careful because they're superpowers in themselves, aren't they? Those big
Yes.
corporations.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is based on, well, Ururu. Basically, Ururu was our, what do you call it? You know, what's the word? I mean, security, no, when you've got cameras all over the place. What's the we're talking about? So it's you know, where everyone's got
Surveillance.
Surveillance, basically surveillance. So for me, Ururu was a surveillance when we used to go and to get fresh water, we had to walk through the pines, which were quite big, it was dark, and then down a little bit of a cliff. Well, I thought it was when you're kids, it's a big cliff, to go to a puna or a spring to get clean water. So with your bucket, so as you're going through, you got a ruru up in there. We used to make a noise and used to scare the shit out of us. But anyway, so we'd either drop the buckets and run, or so that was a surveillance spot. So I tried to adapt that to surveillance around town, really everywhere. Big Brother's watching. Ruru.
And I guess you don't often see ruru, but you hear them.
Right, it's around. And this is the same as just wrong angle, I think it is. We need to flip it. Rotate it. Yeah, it just rotates around. So it's how can we rotate? You can, yes, that's it. It's similar, just a different approach. Doo-doo-doo. Cool.
Sorry. Okay. Oh.
Right. This is actually a book cover, and it was on. It was really to do with people say, we need you at the meeting. You know, we need Indigenous, we need Māori at the meeting. So, you know, you're supposed to contribute, but actually no one listens. So you might be speaking, but what the hell? No one's actually listening to what you're actually saying. So that's why the empty speech bubble. That's an old one that goes way back.
Good old internet, eh? There was one here that
Oh, that one there.
let's talk about.
Yeah, this is one I did in Korea, and it's a waharoa, and I wanted it to reflect that entry exit with the kōrero at the top, but and leaving the edges quite natural. Like if you look at the edges, it's still granite. And doing that sort of mahi, after about a day, I want to come home because it's so hard cutting. You know, it's not like cutting with wood. And when you're grinding away there and you're actually not getting very far in trying to get that, but I didn't line it up. Basically, I think it's lined up like it should be, didn't go together. So when you actually walked in and lined both of them up, then it was the time to walk in. They weren't together, they were separate, but as you moved around, then the sculptures would line up and there was time to walk through the waharo. I also put in, just above my head, you might see a little mark there on both of them. I took some pounamu right there. I took some pounamu and embedded that inside, so any Kiwis who go in there can just give it a nice little pani or whatever, just to know that, you know, they've been there. Keep up the life of that pounamu over there. Kia ora.
Wonderful.
Oh, yeah, that was one of the Ātinga, my assemblage of, while we're up north, what I like to do when I'm actually go to conferences or wherever, like if I'm going to Korea or anywhere, I like to try and find the stories from that place. Like even in Tahiti, I was looking at what things were happening there before I sort of do stuff. So this was, Bob Yonke and I sort of sometimes feel the same. So we took off to Ruapeka, is it? Ruapeka. We went up there to find, you know, just to sit there, find out what the story was, And then we came back and he developed his ideas about Ruapeka, and I looked at my ideas on the British soldiers at that time just invading. So a lot of this material was all found from around the place. So I just go around picking up bits and pieces or go to the local dump or whatever and come back. So those bayonet things were just a garden fork that I split in half, attached to some manuka, and I think there's a lot of rubbish. That's hence my t-shirt, you know. So that's really just a part of it. There's a number of them that I did my assemblage on, those front and back. Kia ora. The insects don't eat those ones here, Tokai.
Oh, sorry. Oh, there's just this one. Last one.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, this one was in Korea, and I did quite a bit of research about that one, about just going to Korea. So I talked to an old vet who'd been over there, and I read a few documents of master students on Māori who went over there, and just a whole, you know, I just like to do a bit. So when I got there, I thought I was going to just do something a little bit simple. Originally, I was going to go there and make about a metre kohatu, drill a hole through it, put some rope or harakeke through it and say that's Maui's anchor, and then go for tipi hai to go for a walk around or drive around Korea and just have a bit of a holiday. But when I got there, the guy goes, "Where's that fella?" And he took me to this big gantry. He's got all these cranes and things. And this was actually lying down, and he goes, "This is your piece. I want you to do something." And I'm going, whoa. So I decided, yeah, two tangata, because our guys went over there to help with the Commonwealth War. Said, yeah, the Korean War against the North, against the South, basically. And so it was two tangata for Māori who went over there and who taught them, which was interesting, the song they call it one of their old folk songs, but all it is the Māori taught them pō kare kare ana, but they sing it in their own language and it sounds pretty cool. So that's granite. That's about, well, you can see the size of it, 9 meters, might be a little bit more. And I use blackstone for the head, which is quite abstract. And basically I just carved out the top part, like the top part of a kākahu or korowai, those feathery bits round all the sides. And I left the drill holes on either side, that's only one image, as part of the texture. So keeping it pretty simple. So I managed to finish a couple of big ones and come home. Yeah. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Don. I'm glad that we found some images for you to talk to. I'm sure the people who are watching this will be quite blown away at the scope of what you produced, Don, and have produced in your career. And that's only a small, very small part of what you've produced, and that has been a lifelong journey. Thank you, Don. What you can see through your work is that you really delve deep into some really important issues that pertain to tangata whenua, that pertain to us as people. But you bring them into a context where it's easy to understand and easy to relate to, and often with a bit of humor as well. So, you know, it makes your work so much more appealing because people can actually engage with the mahi. So thank you for sharing, you know, a small insight into the depth of your knowledge and practice. Tēnā koe te rangatira. O tira kia tātou katoa ko tai atu ki te wā me wehe tātou, koe anō, Viri, tōkai koutou, o te sont, o te kura, nei rā te mihi nui mai Aotearoa nei, kia koutou, kia kaha, kia maia, kia pua wai ngā mahi toi, puta noi I te ao, kia koe Don, I te rangatira, ko te ngākau, ko whaiwā aku I te whakapiri mai tēnei rā, tēnā koe. O te rā kia tātou, e mātaki mai nei, whakapiri mai a te rā wiki. Oh, it's one of your cool t-shirts that I was trying to claim. Colonization Zero.
Yeah, remember that one, that exhibition, Tokai. Hey, that was, yes. And yeah. Okay, thanks, ngā mihi nui, and hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Like, soon? I don't know. But I might just, yeah. Kia ora, ngā mihi nui ki a koe Regan, mō tēnei kaupapa, but I was ki koutou katoa, he tino rawe.
Kia mihi nui ki a kōrua, e ki a koutou.
E nā koutou.
Maruru nui.
Maruru nui.
Maruru.
Au revoir.